What is going on, y'all? This is John with Facemask Fantasy, bringing you new fantasy content every day, and today we are continuing our rookie profiles for the 2022 season. We will be going over every notable rookie in this year's draft, both now, post-combine, and post-NFL draft, as well as bringing you up-to-date analysis on all free agency and all general NFL-related content as it relates to fantasy football. So stay tuned with us throughout the offseason to get the coverage you need on this rookie class and everything fantasy to dominate your fantasy leagues next year. But let's get right into the subject for today, and that is the biggest winner from the Senior Bowl, which occurred this past week, at least from the quarterback position, and that's Malik Willis. Now, we had 6 of the top 7 quarterbacks in mobile this past week for the Senior Bowl. That's Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh, Sam Howell from North Carolina, Carson Strong from Nevada, Malik Willis from Liberty, Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati, and Bailey Zappi from Western Kentucky. Matt Corral was the only quarterback not present at the Senior Bowl. And out of the 6 quarterbacks, one quarterback stood out of the pack as somebody who should be a good bet to get picked early in the first round, if not within the first 10 picks, and that's Malik Willis. Malik Willis, who weighs in at 6'1", 215 pounds, really stood out amongst his peers in almost every aspect. According to Jordan Reed of ESPN, former Liberty redshirt senior QB, Malik Willis had the strongest arm of any quarterback at the Senior Bowl, and it showed up in every practice and in every game. As such, he was named the top quarterback on the American team by a vote from his defensive teammates. To put his arm strength into perspective, he had an average airspeed of 48.5 miles per hour on balls thrown at the Senior Bowl, and his highest airspeed measured was 75.7 miles per hour. Those metrics were first tracked in the Senior Bowl in 2018, and that is the Mayfield, Darnold, Allen, Rosen, and Jackson draft. Malik's measurables in this area were the highest measured of any QB since and including the 2018 draft, so he showed a higher ball velocity than even Josh Allen coming out. And his arm isn't his only elite trait, as his foot speed was just as impressive. Like previous Senior Bowls, the players were wearing GPS tracking devices on their equipment, and Malik Willis had the highest recorded speed of any quarterback ever measured, 20.58 miles per hour. To put that into perspective, Jalen Hurts had the second highest recorded speed at 18.07 miles per hour. So he's got potentially a larger arm than Josh Allen and is faster than Jalen Hurts, the 2021 QB 6 in overall points per game, and he's faster than Lamar Jackson, the 2019 MVP. And he did all this in bad weather. There were winds up to 20 miles per hour from February 1st through the 5th, as well as precipitation throughout, and Malik still posted the aforementioned measurables that he did. I believe, based off his raw tools, he earned himself high first-round draft capital coming out of the Senior Bowl and is a good bet to be drafted within the top 10 in this year's draft. 3 teams that I think could pull the trigger on Malik Willis are the Giants, who own picks 5 and 7, the Carolina Panthers, who have the 6th pick, and the Atlanta Falcons, who have the 8th pick in the upcoming draft. Detroit is also a possibility with their pick at 2. They could pick Willis and have him sit behind Goff for a year to work on the finer points of passing and everything involved in the QB position in the NFL. But I really get some vibes that the Giants, with their new hires in Joe Sheen and Brian Dable, who both came over from the Bills, that those guys want to find their version of Josh Allen. And I know Daniel Jones is there, but Daniel Jones and Josh Allen don't compare to each other. And I'm not really comparing Willis to Allen because they're completely different prospects when you look at the build and some of the intangibles that they bring to the table. I mean, coming out, Josh Allen, 6'5", 237 pounds, and we've seen him in the NFL run over linebackers and run over D linemen and sometimes D tackles. Malik Willis isn't going to be able to do that at 6'1", 215, but what he could be is a more durable, higher ceiling Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts hybrid, and who knows if he hits his ceiling as an NFL prospect. But I mean, from a fantasy perspective, he has the look of somebody that you would build in Madden, somebody with 100 ratings in speed and throwing power. And frankly, I'd be surprised if Willis puts everything together the way that Allen has in his first few years in the league, but Sheen and Dable oversaw the growth of a QB who was all tools, and we've seen what Allen had become under their tutelage, and I think they'll be tempted to go and get their next QB prospect who is all tools, and we'll see if they can maximize his potential like they did with Allen in Buffalo. And like I said, Carolina and Atlanta obviously have needs at quarterback, and they are picking in the top 10 as well. But what do you guys think about about Malik Willis after his showing in the Senior Bowl? Do you think, like me, he has what it takes to go top 10 based on the tools that he showed at the Senior Bowl? And do you think those tools will translate to the NFL and to fantasy in that he will be a top-end fantasy quarterback as soon as year 1 or year 2? Put your thoughts in the comment section below, or even better yet, tune into one of our weekly live streams and have a direct conversation about Malik Willis and the other quarterbacks in this draft and everything that occurred in the Senior Bowl, and really any other rookies or players or general fantasy football situations you would like to discuss. We have live streams every Tuesday at 6 p.m. EST and Thursday at 6 p.m. EST. So come join us, join in on the discussions, and as always, my name's John, this is Facemask Fantasy, bringing you new fantasy content every day right here on this channel, so if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for listening and have a great one.